Thanks so much, Avery. So I'm going to share my screen, of course, because it wouldn't be a meeting without somebody saying that. So, like Avery said, I'm Grace Mauzy. I hold a lot of hats. Um, First, I actually work for the state of Missouri, but I also own my own marketing agency called Graceful Marketing Co. And I also teach mahjong. So if anyone's interested in that, let me know. um, so, small businesses mostly feel like marketing is complicated, it's time consuming, it's expensive, and it's constantly changing. Um, but good marketing can actually be very simple. So, marketing as a whole is truly helping the right people understand why they should choose you, whether that's, you as, somebody that's providing a service, or whether that's you know, if you do, consulting, like it's truly picking out the best way for people to understand why they should choose you and only you, because there's lots of competitors out there doing lots of the same thing, but it's like, how do you position yourself into making them understand why they should choose you as, your business? So it's not, not doing any like TikTok dances. You don't have to do all of that. You don't have to, really focus on, algorithms, or it's truly just like connecting with your audience and communicating why you are the best of your field. So a lot of small businesses, like, everyone ignore this screen. So a lot of small businesses come to me and they're like, Grace, I know I need marketing, but I genuinely have no idea what I'm doing. So they, show me their screen and they're like, somebody told me to do reels. So I'm trying to do these reels. And then they're like, but then somebody is saying that Facebook is dead and they're still telling me that I should post there, but I'm not too sure like what's happening there. But then they, learn about TikTok and they're like, do I need to like renegade or like whip or nay nay? Like, it really truly is like not just, it's not all of the things. It truly is like they don't have a marketing problem. It's more of like a clarity problem, because marketing becomes very simple when three things are clear. And that is clear messaging, consistent presence, and connection with community. This is literally the foundation that I use for my clients, in the boards I'm on, because people truly, I think after COVID, people have started to really want connection, especially with the community, but also like, I don't want, the way I position it is like, how do I connect myself to my target audience? So, like for me, let's say Card V. So I do some marketing for Card V because I'm on the board. Um, and so it's like, how do we position ourselves as a board to connect with the community, not just our clientele that we serve, but also how do we bring in our community at Fulton or Callaway County as a whole and bring them into, supporting us and getting like sharing and all the things. So ask yourself, what do you want to be known for? Ask yourself, what problem do I solve? So for me, I help people do marketing. I make it easier for them. Who do I serve? I serve small business owners or nonprofits or, um, any keynote speakers. Why should somebody choose me? Because I'm me is my simple answer, is because I'm unique and I see things in a different light, and I'm good at what I do, and I know I'm good at what I do. And so, um, oh, I don't know what that, oh, so when it comes to clear messaging, so let's say I'm a clothing store and I'm trying to develop my message to my potential clients, and you start and you're like, we sell clothes. That literally gives me nothing.
Yeah,
That is
no worries.
boring. That doesn't like, it doesn't feel personal. But you can change it and say that we sell affordable boutique styles for busy women who want to feel confident. that completely changes the vibe of your message. That makes you say, I'm a busy woman and I want to feel confident, and it's affordable. And I know it's affordable because you just told me it's affordable. Another example is we do marketing. Okay, what's marketing? If you're not, in this field or in a small bit, like if you just don't know, you're like, I don't know what that is. But I help small businesses tell their stories and attract the right customers. That tells me exactly what you do, because I try to help small businesses tell their story. And in the in scheme of things, it'll help attract the right customers to that business. So when you look at your brand as a whole, it is truly more than a logo. Your brand is how, people experience your business. I am very, I am like very picky about branding when it comes to my businesses and the people that I help marketing and, the different boards I'm on. Branding really does help, bring people into your business, and, it makes it look more professional. So whether that's you create a template for your brand, like if you're creating social media posts, if you do a consistent post, people will automatically be like, oh, that's Grace's mahjong business, or that's Grace's marketing business. Once you develop that style, people will truly be more drawn into you, because I see a lot of people that use I love Canva, but Canva templates are so overused. But if you just change colors and change the um, elements around to be different, it won't look just like, oh, so they got that off Canva, but they developed it into something that truly is their style. Um, Voice and personality. So when I say that, it's how you write captions. It's how brand voice is truly like a whole different beast in itself. Um, it's more recognizable for people. Just like I said, with like the visual style, they kind of go hand in hand. Um, Customer experience and then also your reputation. Those two kind of go together, because if a person has a bad experiences and then post it on Good, Bad, and Ugly, that's gonna maybe taint your reputation. But if, something that's so beautiful, especially with like Callaway County and Fulton in general, is it's such a tight knit community. And so when you have all of these people, rallying around you and being like, why don't you, instead of, posting on Good, Bad, and Ugly that you had a bad experience about that person, um, why don't you talk to that business owner and see, how that can be fixed? I know I really went on a tangent there, but truly, like, that is, you know, your brand and, how you present yourself as a brand and how you handle that situation. So where should you market? You do not need to be everywhere. I know, especially with social media, there's so many platforms. Even I have a hard time keeping up because I don't even know. Like, there are so many new ones that have come out in just this last year that I'm like, okay, time out. Like, where am I truly going to get the most, like, quality content, but also quality engagement? Because if you're building a completely new account or new platform, you're going to need people to fill in and bump your engagement on your post. But if you know where your customers are, I know Fulton is very like Facebook and Instagram, mostly Facebook heavy. So target your, focus on Facebook. Um, whenever so Instagram isn't as big, but if you really want to connect with William Wood students or Westminster students, Instagram might be the best place for you. Email is another really great. If you have a large online presence where, your target market isn't just Fulton, maybe try email. There's a lot of really, really great email marketing platforms. I've used so many. I've used Constant Contact, MailChimp. There are so many really great ones. So if your larger audience is on, online, maybe you capture their emails once they place an order on your website, and then grab that, get their consent to continue sending them emails, and then send them targeted emails. Be like, hey, we just dropped this awesome product last week. You should go check it out. Here's a coupon code while you're here. Sort of stuff like that. Google is also another great resource, especially if you have a large online presence. You can do a lot of their Google ads are really great. You can place them wherever you want. But then also, Google also has on their business manager, whenever, like if you look up, Mahjong classes near me, Jeff City Mahjong is going to pop up. And it's going to have, my business, and it's going to have like my contact information, my website, and you can actually use that as another platform, like a social media platform. You could post business posts, which is quite interesting, but that actually does, populate when people do search, niche terms about your business. So Grace, what should I post? Because I am completely lost. I don't know where to start. Well, you can rotate between 4 things. This is actually kind of my framework that I use for, my life in general, like businesses that I help market, or just like my personal, is educate. So let's say, I'll just use my business as, I'll just use my marketing business as the example. So educate. So what can I tell people that won't, number one, take away from my business, right? I don't want to give everyone what I do, but be like, make sure your Google business hours are correct, or, give people advice that won't take away from, why they would use you in the first place, but, give them just little droppings every once in a while of good quality, tips. Showcase. Let's say I had a really great client, and they had a 200% increase in engagement on social media. I'm going to screenshot that, and I'm going to post it and be like, look what great work I'm doing for this business, and this is the result. Let's say they got like 30 orders from that post. That's amazing, and I'm going to share that story. So behind the scenes. So I always love to take pictures. There's a picture a couple weeks ago where I was in my office at home working, and my dog jumped up on my chair with me because she could definitely fit. And my mom came up to my office and took a picture of me and my dog while I was working. And, that got really, really great engagement. And then community. So community and local connections, especially in Missouri, that is something that I know and I have recognized and identified, is that truly people love seeing faces, and they love seeing faces that they know. And so if you ever, if you own a storefront and, someone styled an outfit that was really cute, and you're like, why don't you try that on? Let's put you on social media. So that also gives customers the incentive of like, oh my gosh, I get to be on this person's social media. And it also, if you post that and then they share it with their friends, and then their friends come over to your page because they know that she shops there, it just like tumbles into this like snowball effect of like, I want to follow them because that outfit's really cute, or I know her and I know that she shops there. So truly it is like a connections game, and like making sure that you are building that community of followers that are loyal to you, but also like will give you those likes or give you those engagement, or also, bring in that traffic into your business. The power of consistency. So a lot of my clients are like, we need to post every day. We got it. We have to post multiple times a day. We have to post everything. We have to post everything. That's not necessarily the case. I always try to start out with 2 to 3, especially if you're starting on your own and you don't have somebody on staff to do this full time for you. You don't need to do posts every single day of the week. That gets exhausting. Social media is really hard, and especially to get the hang of it. But if you start with 2 to 3 social media posts a week, that can completely change the game for you and your business. A little tip that I do is I know a lot of people utilize ChatGPT, and it's great, but I like being in the field, you can notice, and your customers will start to notice when you use certain terms within like ChatGPT. And, if you say, like, write a caption about this outfit, it's the M dashes. People know because of the M dashes. But it does give a great framework if you're like, I'm a small business, I own Graceful Marketing Co. How do I help me frame out 7 days of content? And so that's a really great way to utilize ChatGPT or any other AI bot. If you don't even know where to start, that is a great way to start. If you have any comments or messages on your social media platforms right now, respond to them. I always do like hi and then have their name like as the tag, and then write the message and be like, please DM us or please email us or give me a call. Would love to help you out. Like I said, keep Google listings updated on the Google Business Manager, and then ask customers for review, especially on Google. This actually does help bump up your kind of like the algorithm. It helps show that like Google's algorithm, it tells it, hey, like this person is using this person's business, and this business is not just stagnant. People are going and using this service. So it kind of bumps it up. It's a little free, but make that into your weekly habit of I'm going to make sure that, or I'm going to make sure that everything is staying up to date on our Google, or we're not gonna make anyone feel like they don't have a reply if they had a question on social media. So it just shows, it really does, like, consistency does beat perfection. If you do some really, really great things, keep rinsing and repeating them. But yeah. So the most powerful marketing tool in the world is truly word of mouth. People do trust reviews, friends, community recommendations, especially good, bad, and ugly, because we love our good, bad, and ugly around here. And then encourage this by asking for Google reviews, featuring customer stories, like I mentioned earlier, or delivering great service and maybe enticing them to be like, hey, you should really maybe share that on social media, or just hope that they do that. So 5 things you can do this week is update your business review or business profile. Make sure that your hours are right, your address is right, your phone number is correct, your website is updated. Make sure all of those are things, because if somebody Googles lawn care in Holton, Missouri, or lawn care in Fulton, Missouri, they will, your business could pop up. And, let's say I really wanted to get maybe not today, but I would really like to get my lawn care taken care of. And let's say that person goes to your website and they're like, none of this is working. Why can't I call them? That automatically ruins that person's, experience on your website. And it also kind of taints their view of you, of they couldn't even update their website correctly. So make sure that everything is accurate so that customers can reach you properly. Ask 3 customers for reviews. If you have some really great friends that love to shop at your store or use your service, ask them to post on Google for you. Another way you could do this is offer them like hey, I'll give you $5 off your next purchase, or I'll give you 20% off the next time you shop in on one product. Like, you can entice people to do something like that, or incentivize people to do that. Post a behind the scenes photo. If you just got some new inventory in, take a selfie of yourself unboxing your materials. People truly love to see, like, oh, Grace has new product in. I'm going to go check that out. Share one helpful tip. So, this is great, especially like if you just don't really know what to put, but you think one person could benefit from this helpful tip. Share that on social media. Make a cute little graphic, or take a picture of yourself, or take a video of yourself, talking about something that's been kind of on your heart about your business, or about you see people struggling with this, but you want to provide guidance to them. Any of that is helpful to everyone. And then respond to every message that comes in, whether that's on Instagram or Facebook or a Meta Business Suite. That helps. I think Meta does show, like on Facebook does show your responsiveness to customers on there. And so, like, if I'm going on your page, I can see how often and how frequently you respond to customers. So that can tell people, oh, Grace doesn't go on Facebook very much and respond to customers. So making sure that you keep that up, and it also may drive traffic to you by responding to that message. So something that small businesses have that big brands don't is authenticity. Like I said, like, COVID really changed the game when it comes to marketing and for small businesses, because McDonald's does the same ad everywhere in the United States. They don't do targeted ads. They don't do, well, maybe they do, but not just specifically for Fulton, Missouri, or Holt Summit, or like anywhere. But what people want is, they want to support businesses that are local, that are real, and that you are a real life human being. You're not just a number behind a screen. You are truly a person who is running a business that's contributing to the economic growth of the county. You are someone that someone can support. So a little bit about me before we hop off, or before I take any questions. So like I said, I started my business in 2024, and it has completely grown. I do a couple of Callaway County. The Brick District Playhouse is one of my clients. So I really, really love, sharing stories. So if you ever feel like marketing is just a little too much for you and you can't handle, or you think it's just like adding to your plate, I am always here. You can always shoot me an email or bounce off ideas with me. I'm always a sounding board for that, and I love helping other small businesses. So that's all I had for today. Does anyone have any questions for me?
I have a quick question. Oh, did somebody else go?
Go ahead. You're good. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So not necessarily about marketing, but with the M dashes. So I'm with the newspaper and I use M dashes in my writing. How can I make sure that it sounds like a real person is writing it? Because I think that it does,
Right.
but like I want to avoid people thinking that I use ChatGPT to write it.
No, I get you. I am the same way. I have been an M dash user forever and ever and ever. And so once ChatGPT decided that M dashes are what it's going to use, I was like, okay, so I have to change my entire style. But that's not necessarily the case. I think my thing is like the emojis that it uses with the M dashes. I don't think it's necessarily the M dashes themselves, because there isn't really like I think a way that it phrases it is like, it's not just blank M dash, and that's a pretty like telltale that it is ChatGPT. But I
Okay.
think it's like the emojis is majority of like, it's the emojis with the M dashes that really make you be like, ugh, they use chat. So I don't think your writing style will need to change just because of that.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm probably the oldest one here. Tell me about TikTok. Is that a viable source for marketing? Is that
So I think it is. I think it depends on your business type. I think, and how niche you want to be with your business. So like it's really hard it's great for, local businesses, but it's really hard to determine if your videos are even going to reach the people that you need to reach. And there for a while, I kind of actually deterred people away from TikTok, just given the like legality problems that were happening and like is this going to be like, is TikTok going to go away? But I think that has resolved itself. But I think TikTok is a viable source if you have like an online store or if you're not just local. But that doesn't mean that short videos aren't, a great way. Like TikTok formatted videos are a great way, but you can post them on like Instagram or Facebook, but don't just post them on like spread the content around, if that makes sense. Did that answer your question?
it did, thank you. And when you
Yeah.
have those three platforms mentioned, are you posting to all three of them? Or are you just
Yes.
doing random things?
I think you have to, it's all strategy, because if one thing performs really well on, I kind of do it like a trial basis. Let's say like I post a short film or short formed video on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. Which one of those performed well? And and then at what times do you post them at? So like take 30 days and try, posting them at different times. Because I do rinse and repeat my TikToks, or like because not everyone is going to see what's on TikTok or what's on Instagram. Like I log into both of them, but they may not come across my feed um at the same time. Do you know what I mean? So it's okay to use the same content, but maybe like layer them on like what time you and test out. It's all kind of like it's a game when it comes to social media of, like when do you post and when do you like to get the most views and engagement. And I think Meta does. I am a hater of Meta, but I use it, and it does have some really great tools. Like when do people view your social media the most, and it pulls that data for you, and so you can actually play around within those time frames to see when your posts perform the best. Did that answer your question for you? Okay, perfect. Any other questions? No?
Perfect. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, we'll go ahead and end this so everybody can have their Monday morning back. Thank you so much, Grace. That was really helpful. So this was recorded and I will send it out. So if you need to look back on any of the information, it was all recorded. And I'll send that out to everybody. So if there's no other questions or any comments, we'll go ahead and end it.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Thank you.
Of course.